All right, hitting the button now.
If you like horror, hit that notification bell, smash that like button, and push that subscribe button now.
What's the boogeyman?
Welcome to my nightmare. Want the man who did this?
Welcome to Nick Push's Horror Channel.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Nick Push. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We got a fun show planned because we're going to get you involved tonight. We're going to answer any questions about Halloween Ends and anything else you want to talk about. We're going to be involved in the chat tonight. I'm joined by my friend Bud from the Halloweenverse. Per usual, it seems these days. Bud, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Had a lot of fun with our stream last week. Figured let's do it again, right?
Yeah, see if we can keep it hopping like it was last week.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So we're gonna let people trickle in, talk a little bit, let people trickle in. But if you're watching live, throw some questions for us in the chat. We're gonna answer anything appropriate, that is. So watch it, Allie. I see you there, ready for a crazy question. But yeah, so Bud, we've had about a week and a half now. Has it been a week and a half since the trailer came out, or like a week and 2 days?
It has. Right? Yeah, a week and 2 days. It's been live and yeah.
It feels like, I don't know. Some ways it feels like it's been like a month, just because everyone dissecting everything, and I haven't watched it in a few days after watching it a shit ton, but
I haven't watched it all week.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, it's like at this point, I'll randomly watch it every couple days, from here on out, just to, decipher different things and shit like that. But I just needed a little break from, randomly watching the same minute 16 clip all the time. And, you can only, take a magnifying glass and look at things for so long. But it's still fun to talk about. It's fun to speculate. With everything we saw in the trailer, it's fun to kind of jump to conclusions, even though a lot of it could be misdirect or whatever. Is there any theories you personally have after seeing the trailer and letting it digest for a little bit, or anything you've heard that kind of piques your interest at all?
Well, the more time that goes by, I'm really interested in the Corey part. It's a
Hold on, Corey? What? I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that name yet.
Oh, come on now. There's only every video on YouTube's about Corey, right? So yeah, I'm getting more intrigued by what they're gonna do there and how they kind of execute it. What goes into it. Like how it is, like if he's gonna be a copycat killer or whatever the hell, the controlled by the shape, whatever it's gonna be. I'm just kind of excited to see kind of where he's gonna fit.
Yeah.
Overall story. So
yeah, same here. I have a thought on that. I'll get to it in a second. If you're just tuning in, if you have any Halloween Ends questions, throw them in the chat. We're going to be interacting with the chat a lot tonight. We already got a few people in the chat. We got Diamond Rattler, Allie, Michael Bish. What's up, guys? Michael Bish has a great podcast. Make sure you go check that out. Josh the Horror Guy. All kinds of people are filtered in, so make sure you get your questions in, throw them in the chat. If we don't get to them right away, we are going to be going through it a lot tonight, so keep them coming. Here's my thought on the Corey thing. I was just thinking about it when I was in the shower this morning. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I think about men named Corey in the shower. But anyway, I wish I didn't say that. Anyway, here's my thought. So for months and months and months. We get nothing about this fucking movie. Nothing. Yeah, I'm making videos speculating about God knows what from Halloween Kills in 2018, right? We get nothing. And then a minute 16 teaser trailer drops with a plot synopsis about a copycat, and there's something blatantly in the trailer where you can see Michael's hand not having fingers shot off. Why would they go through all these painstaking methods to keep everything secret and then drop the plot synopsis like that? Almost focus in on the fact that they show Michael's hand like that. Are they fucking with us?
I hate to say it, but it just looks like they're falling into their same, like, the same thing they did where they gave pretty much everything away in the trailers. It just looks like they're just gonna put it out there as is. They're not going into any great lengths to, they're doing test screenings. They've done a couple in New York. They did one in Vegas the other night. And it's pretty much like, if you want to find it, it's out there. I mean,
Yeah.
so I think they're probably going to premiere it like they did 2018 and Ends. They premiered him at a film. I think it's the Toronto International Film Festival.
Yep.
Like, I'm just kind of waiting any day to hear that that's where they're going to premiere it, and that's, early to mid September.
Yeah.
So they're just, I just think they're going to give it all away in the trailers again. That's what I think.
Probably. I mean, maybe they just saw the scene in the movie, the scene where, Michael is, walking up the stairs and breathing, and then pushes the door open, and then you got the, Laurie holding the gun, and, they look at that and be like, oh, that's a badass scene to start the trailer with, and not even really thinking about, or caring, I should say, about the fact that people are going to be noticing the finger thing. So, yeah, you're probably right. I don't know if a studio that's trying to make all this money is just going to start fucking with their audience like that. Although I'd be for it, kind of, because it would be intriguing. I would think if any franchise would do it, it'd be Scream, right?
Yeah. They were really good at keeping Scream 5 under wraps. It wasn't until, they started premiering it days, before.
Yeah.
Everything all leaked out. But I have another observation about this Halloween Ends trailer that to my knowledge, I haven't seen it anywhere, but
Okay.
I don't think anybody's ever has brought this up yet. But you go back and watch that trailer and you get to the scene where Michael, I'll put Michael in air quotes, is, walking up into the house and up the stairs. Have you taken a really good listening to the breathing?
Yeah, it's different.
It is different. And, to me, they have Nick Castle involved. You'd think that, they'd have him do the breathing parts, right? But it doesn't sound anything like Nick Castle.
No, it's almost like it's
Go listen to
purposely supposed to
yeah,
not sound like that, right?
It sounds like a young man.
Yeah.
Go listen to it again.
Yeah.
Tell me.
No, I'm with you. I don't think it is Michael, and I think it's blatantly obvious that it's not Michael, like so much so that they want you to know that it's not Michael.
Yeah.
But have you questioned it? I don't know. It's certainly interesting. Let's see what some of the questions we got in the chat. Remember, guys, put some questions in the chat. We're gonna kind of get through the nitty gritty of those and go through them. So let's start with Allie. She goes, "Do y'all think we'll get another trailer?" That's a good question. I do. Maybe it'll be another teaser trailer like this, or do you think it'll be another, like, a 2.5 minute trailer, Bud, or do you think it'll kind of be another teaser trailer, or another, like, what do they call that, sizzle reel or something like that? What do you think they would do?
Nah, I think they're gonna do just what they did before. It'll be a full, like, 2-minute, 20-second trailer. Because I did notice, I went to Apple Trailers. It's not on there yet.
Okay.
So this teaser was just kind of, I think that just a little teaser was to help Nope. during its release.
Yeah.
So I think in August, I think we're gonna get a full trailer. I really do.
That'd be nice because it'd just be cool
What,
to see some more scenes, you know.
and then it's another like what more content,
Yep.
just more shit to dissect.
Yep. Yep. That that's a good point about Nope. You know, it's another Blumhouse property, Universal property.
It's a Universal, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good point. But I just don't know if they'll do a 2.5 minute. But if you remember last year, and obviously I know last year was a different year than most years, but last year, you know, after we got the trailer, if you remember the month or so before Kills, like I remember watching TV, and I don't watch much TV, but I remember there was a Kills trailer on all the time. Watching football, Halloween Kills trailer comes on. I was at Halloween Horror Nights, standing in line, and you hear the Kills trailer playing over the loudspeaker. I know it's Universal, so obviously it makes sense, but they really just went fucking crazy, like with their last second marketing campaign there, and it seemed to have worked. So I'm sure they'll do something like that again, where they just oversaturate us.
Or did it? Because man, it kind of seemed like at the last minute they announced that Kills was going to be on Peacock.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I think they'll flood the zone again with.
Yeah, it makes
I
sense.
think they'll just do it all the same, really.
Yeah, it makes sense. Shane Emerson, what's up, Shane, says, isn't Nick Castle supposed to have a cameo in Ends? I believe so. He
Yes.
obviously was supposed to have a cameo or he played the shape in the mirror scene in Halloween 2018, and then he was in a deleted scene in the bathroom, I believe, in Halloween Kills. I did hear, didn't he say he's going to be unmasked in this movie?
Yes.
Did he tweet that out or
yes.
something?
I think he told this to somebody in a cameo video. Someone bought a cameo video from him, and he kind of mentioned that in the cameo video that he was going to be seen. He's not playing the shape, but he's, playing some new character.
Interesting.
I've heard two things. I heard that I've heard that there's a crazy old man or like homeless old man who claims that he's Michael Myers.
Okay.
I've heard that could be him there, and I've also seen that he is at a Halloween party that Allison goes to. So I don't know.
Interesting.
It's kind of what you want to believe. I don't know.
Wait,
I
Nick
think that's
Castle's
crazy.
at a Halloween party that Allison's at?
Yeah. That's the thing that I
65-year-old
read.
Nick Castle or whatever the hell. Yeah.
So yeah, I lean more towards the homeless guy claiming he's Michael Myers because it's
That'd
a
be
little
funny.
tongue.
Yeah, it's tongue in cheek. Yeah, absolutely. That would be interesting because I feel like half the theater would know that it's Nick Castle and laugh really loud, and half the theater would be laughing at the fact that a homeless guy is saying he's Michael Myers, and they wouldn't get the in joke, but it would work both ways, kind of. Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah. It'd be a funny way to get him in there.
Yeah, I agree.
I haven't heard if he's doing any breathing, but we'll see.
Right. Clearly not in the opening scene. All right, Shane Emerson says that opening scene of the trailer seems a little odd, like it's set up for a trailer. Hopefully it's just some trailer trickery. Yeah, I've heard all kinds of theories on it. I've heard it's a dream. I've heard it's some part of Laurie's therapy. I think I speculated last week that it's her and Hawkins playing some type of sex game. But I don't think that's it. And it.
I don't either. I think that's the real deal. Yeah.
Do you?
I do. I think that part's the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I guess is there anything in the trailer that would be like our Vicky scene where they really just ruined something? Would that be it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would. That's like the Marion being shown dead in the first trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue in the chat. What's up, everybody? Keep the questions coming. Keith A says, "What's up? What's up, Keith?" Paxton Scrovigan says, "What I sent to Travis and Jake won't fit in the chat. It's okay. You could do it in 2 parts, my man, but no worries." Here we go. Keith says, "I hope this is not H2O Part 2, the final thoughts. I hate H2O." What are your thoughts on H2O, Bud? We just did a H2O trivia over on your Halloweenverse channel. Was that Sunday?
It was Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you guys go check that out. It was a lot of fun. But it's been a long week, man. I can't remember what you said about H2O.
I said H2O is a middle of the road Halloween sequel. Not terrible, not great, but unfortunately it doesn't age well. I just think it just kind of reeks of the horror genre of the time, the mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
I just don't think it sticks out from some of the other movies that came from that era. So that's what I think about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hate the cinematography. It just, like you said, screams, pun intended, the late 90s. And
Yeah.
The one thing I like Laurie's story. I like her character arc. I like Jamie Lee Curtis's performance. Jamie Lee Curtis is fine in every Halloween movie, but I really like her in H2O from a character perspective. But I mean, other than that, I think it's a fine movie. I think it's one of the better made movies in the franchise, but it's not a good Halloween movie in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's fair. If you were to put Jamie's performance in H2O, and I'll just throw 2018, I think the H2O performance is probably the better of the two. But
yeah, when I first started this channel, way back in the day, I'm talking like when I had I think I was doing it on my phone. I was sitting in my basement at the time on my phone. I made a ranking video, ranking my favorite Laurie Strodes from best to worst, and or worst to best, I should say. And H2O Laurie, I think I had her at, if she wasn't number 1 behind the OG, she was definitely at number 2, which I know surprised a lot of people because I didn't have Halloween 2 Laurie up there, but she just kind of like a better version of Halloween Kills, where she kind of just sat in the hospital most of the time.
Well, I mean, she didn't do much in Halloween 2, so I could see why you landed the way you landed.
Yeah, she wore a wig nicely, She was good.
Yeah.
Shockingly good shot. But other than that, yeah, I mean, she had a couple good chase scenes, but other than that, it was more Loomis's story, God, I miss Loomis, man. Why can't we be sitting here talking about Loomis?
I know, man.
I mean, I guess he'd be, I don't even know, 100. But that is the thing that these movies, as good, as well made as they are, as good as they can be at their best, not having Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, it's why these can never pass, 1, 2, and 4 for me, I feel like. And it might be unfair, but he was such a presence in these movies, don't you think?
Or just a Loomis type character. I think. I don't know. They tried to kind of backfill that with Laurie a little bit with the fancy talk and Halloween Kills, but I just don't think her backfilling, kind of taking her part and kind of backfilling a little bit on his part.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta make a correction. I gotta make a correction here. I gotta interrupt you and make a correction.
Okay.
Mochi says, "Hey Nick and Bud," and I was just corrected after like a year. After a year, I was corrected earlier today that it's Mochi, and I've been saying Moki.
Mochi.
Yeah, Mochi. So I need to on record live correct that because apparently I've been screwing it up, and I've never been told till earlier today. So Mochi, hello. All right, continue. Sorry, I just had to do that.
Emoji. Yeah, Ali says it's hard to duplicate the talent of Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, it is.
So so maybe that's why they just didn't even bother, and they just.
But here's what they should have done. Here's what I would have done. So you have, you mentioned that they were trying to make Laurie into a Loomis type character, which I agree. What they should have done, Laurie moves out of Haddonfield, and then Michael returns to Haddonfield, and Laurie is there warning the cops about him. Laurie is, playing that Loomis role. Not Laurie's thinking Michael's coming after her. have Laurie,
Well,
essentially doing that. Yes, it wouldn't be as good, but it would kind of fill the void a little bit. I don't know. But then Jamie Lee Curtis isn't the final girl, so it ruins that mystique. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. I mean, there are a million things that could have done better, but
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
the Sartain things, another
Yes.
interesting.
Sartain.
Shane, yeah, I don't know if you want to go back, kind of
Yeah.
keep it in,
Yeah. Go ahead.
but Shane made a good point about. Me and Shane agree on the Dr. Sartain, the Sartain twist. It didn't bother me as much as it bothered some other people. Only the fact that it was done and then it was over. Like he got his head stomped in and it was over. They didn't, dwell on it or bring it back up. It was just a one and done.
It was modern bullshit. Like the payoff, they thought the payoff was going to be him getting his head stomped, when the payoff should have been something else. I didn't hate the Sartain twist either. What I hated was he put on the fucking mask. What I hated was he was able to lift Meyer. Yeah, what I hated was he was able to lift Meyer's body. What I didn't really like, I didn't like him stabbing Hawkins. I thought they could have done it a little bit different. But he made it known early on in that movie that he wanted to see Michael, I don't know, in the wild. Yeah. So he made that well known that he was kind of obsessed, but I don't know. It like you said, it just wasn't executed, but it could have been better. So
I think what they tried to do is use Sartain to drive home the fact that Michael's not after Laurie. Like, he's just an indiscriminate killer.
Yeah. Like,
the only way they were going to be put together was by something like that.
Yep. Yep. All right, let's continue here. Shane says, how much of the film do you guys think will either be exposition or flashbacks to the events between kills and ends? We may get a scene like later on in that night, after he killed Karen, maybe. Similar to maybe the length of time similar to Halloween 5. I assume he's not going to be floating down a river, but we may get something like that. But I don't think we're going to get a bunch of flashbacks of Michael sitting in a cave and trying to survive for 4 years. At least I hope not. What do you think, man?
Oh yeah, that would be weird. It sounds like they're gonna exposition. So obviously between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, there have been 4 years. So some things have happened in Haddonfield over those 4 years. So there may be some kind of jumping around in that time frame. I don't think we're going back to 78 or 1963. I just don't think that's happening.
No, but I did like that they threw 78 little 78 quick shots of 78 in the trailer. I loved that. So I really like that. Here we go. Here's a good question from Carter Chambly. Hey Carter, what's going on, man? It says, hey guys, do you think the window or anything will be explained at all? Also, do you think we will get any Loomis flashbacks? I think we kind of just answered the Loomis question. I don't think we'll get any Loomis flashbacks. I think they kind of blew their load with that already. Last movie. What do you think about the Loomis?
Yeah, I don't think Loomis is coming back.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they'll do some speech or something, or have one of his speeches, a part of his speech from the original film, and like a voiceover. I don't know, but I don't think we'll see him again.
The window thing, no.
The window thing. This intrigues me more than anything in the fucking franchise right now. Currently, is the window thing. We know that in Halloween Kills, that window fucking meant something, and it was super fucking natural. Okay? Why am I saying fuck so much? I don't know. But we know that it meant something because in the flashback you had The two cops talking about it. I can never remember Hawkins' partner's name that he killed. But he mentioned that Michael looked up at his sister in the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
before he got killed, he walks over there before Myers leaps out of the closet area, and he's staring at the window, and you see that Myers' footprints were there, so Myers was just staring at that window. Then we had the scene with Big John and Little John, where after he kills one of them, Myers is staring out the window. And then obviously we had the scene where Karen looking in the window, seeing the flashback of Myers when he was 6 years old, and then going up and staring at the window, and then Myers appears. So they were going somewhere with that, right? They had to.
Well, I mean, what about the mask though in 2018 where Aaron holds up the mask and it just kind of seemingly a light bulb goes up in Michael's head, and he has a little moment there where he gets the mask out of the trunk. But then you look at what's going on here in Halloween Ends, and we might be having another character wearing the mask. So
But
to
is
me,
it
that
the
shows.
same mask?
I think so.
Yeah.
I really do think so. I mean, I hope to be proven wrong, but yeah, I do think that they will pay the window thing off. I really expect that. I don't know what
Which
it'll
would
be.
mean probably that the Myers house would make an appearance, right?
I don't know. I haven't.
I haven't heard squat about it.
Yeah, I would imagine that the Myers house is coming down at some point. I think that would be a reaction that the town would have, would be to tear that house down. What else was I going to... There's rumors that, the Doyle house, the Wallace house could be back.
God, I would
And that
love
could
that.
kind of serve as
I would fucking love that.
that could kind of serve as the fan service, if the Myers house is down. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, me either. Like I said, this window thing, it's intriguing. And is it so intriguing that I want the answer? Yes. But is there an answer they could give me that will satisfy me? Probably not. So, I mean, but I'll also be pissed off if they don't pay it off. So I don't know what I want here, but it's got to mean something. And I don't know if their plans changed. I mean, obviously their plans changed on what Halloween Kills was going to be about, but did they change so much that they're changing the core aspects of what they set up in Kills, as far as the window and a radio tower or whatever? I don't know. I guess time will tell, but that window intrigues the hell out of me. So I hope we get something.
Yeah, the footprints in 63, and then whatever Karen was seeing, like, it kind of seems like there's going to be at least some kind of supernatural twist to this.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what they're setting up.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope it's something not horrible. All right, let's see what else we got in the chat. Carter Chambly says Loomis is the heart of the franchise. I agree, my man. Let's see here. Here we go, Shane. Shane says maybe Barry Sims finally gets to do his radio show from inside the Myers house. That's right. That was his whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inside the Myers house. And that was another movie that, well, maybe not another movie, but that was a movie that they canceled Halloween. And then we're bringing it back. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm curious as to whether the Halloween spirit was dampened, over, because we know something happened with Corey.
Right.
That, because they said he was killed while he was babysitting. It says that in the synopsis.
Right.
So I wonder if Haddonfield just had their fill of Halloween, and then now here 4 years later, looks like they're kind of lifting the veil a little bit.
Yeah, they took a couple years, realized he's not coming back, and then, yeah. All right, here's the big question from Keith. Who lives, Michael or Laurie? Bud, who you got? Michael, Laurie, none, both? What do you think?
I just feel like Michael is not going to survive this. and I feel like I feel like Laurie is, as they say, she's narrating it, writing her book. So I have a feeling that Laurie is going to have an ending to her book.
Yeah,
That's what I feel.
yeah.
I think Laurie.
I went back and forth so much on this, man, and obviously it depends on what kind of story they end up telling here, but and now it's gotten more complicated with um, the franchise possibly going somewhere else and things like that. But let's take that out of it.
Mhm.
I I think you gotta have. You don't have to, but I think you have to have Laurie and Michael like either dying together or Laurie sacrificing herself to save Allison, to save Allison's soul, kind of, so to speak. I think I just don't think you can have Michael survive though. That's my problem with this. Is it's called Halloween Ends. It's time to end this version of the story. If you want to start a new one, which they will eventually, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, all those properties eventually come back. I think you have to kill Michael. The only way to officially start this franchise over is to kill Michael. The last time they started it over was what, Resurrection, and he opened his eyes in the morgue in a stupid ass way.
Yeah, I think Resurrection gets too much hate. It did the one thing that we've kind of been wanting. It got away for that movie. It got away at the very beginning. It got away from all the Laurie, all the other bullshit, all the other storylines.
Hold on 1 second. You said
Michael,
Resurrection gets too much hate?
It gets too much hate.
All right, get the fuck off my channel, man.
It's the one movie where we kind of like. I think we all subconsciously want Michael Myers to be in some kind of different, like where he's not stalking Laurie Strode or
We do,
Jamie
the studio doesn't.
But that one movie, they fucking at least tried to get him, oh, these new people are in my house. Like, at least they tried something different. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it did or not, but it tried to give us we kind of wanted a fresh break from all that other shit, and it tried.
Yeah, and there's many problems with that movie, but it did try something different. And it's a product of its time more than most, because early 2000s, with the technology where it was, we had webcams, we had all kinds of shit that was just starting. So when you watch that movie, it's from the early 2000s. Technology always ages movies. That's why Halloween 1978 is timeless. Yes, it's aged, but it's kind of timeless. The problem with Resurrection is it came off a very successful movie, H2O. They killed Laurie Strode early, which pissed people off. They were following up a movie where Michael got his fucking head cut off. So so that's another question. If Michael dies, how the fuck do you kill him and make it believable, make it satisfying? I get what you're saying about Resurrection. I don't think it's a good movie, but
that's fair.
Yeah, but when you ask people what their least favorite Halloween movie is, people don't even think. They just say Resurrection, right? Because that's what everyone says.
I don't know, man.
I mean, maybe not you, but
I'll just, this is a hill I'll die on, but Resurrection's better than Halloween 5, man. I don't think anybody can convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I'm mixed on it. I think Resurrection is a little worse, but I think Halloween 5 pisses me off more and has more unforgivable sins to me. So it's a pick 'em for me.
I mean, Resurrection is everybody in that movie we wanted to see die. So
Yeah.
I mean, when I'd say that's a positive of that movie.
Yeah.
Except for Busta Rhymes, he didn't. But that scene at the end where the lady unzips his burned body, and those eyes come over, that scared shit out of me.
Oh, at the end.
Oh yeah, that was like the best part of the movie, probably.
Oh man! All right, guys. If you are in the chat, we see got a lot of new people coming. If you're in the chat, get some questions in. We're gonna be taking questions for a while still. So if you got any Halloween Ends questions or Halloween franchise questions that you want to hear us answer or anything like that, get them in the chat. We are going to answer them. Bud, real quick before we continue here, your guys' channel just hit 500 subs
Yes.
this past week, right? Big accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah, we got 100 of those in the month of July alone. It was a crazy month of growth.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we just hit 500, and we'll be continuing the trivias over there next month.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I just
you
put
the
a
link in there,
link to
yeah.
your channel in the chat. So if you are not subscribed to the Halloweenverse channel, Bud's got a lot of fun stuff planned for the future, especially as Halloween Ends approaches and other non-Halloween stuff, believe it or not, too. So make sure you go and sub to their channel. It's nice to get into these channels, guys, when they're on fire like this and they're growing. If you're at 500, if they've got 100 subs in the last whatever, what'd you say, like a month or something like that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's pretty impressive. So make sure you give them a sub and check out what they got coming. And I assume I'll be invited back there at some point. So yeah.
Oh, you will be.
All right. So let me ask you this: since we were just talking about, we're gonna get into the chat still too here, but since we were just talking about if Michael dying, do you have a way that you've envisioned them killing Michael off here, and how you would want it, or what you think they might do, or anything like that? Because, like I said, Halloween H2O, they cut off his head. I remember being a kid, like in elementary school. And I remember, everyone said, it was before social media, before YouTube, everyone just said, why don't you just cut off his head? And then I remember watching H2O, and they did it. I was like, holy shit, they did it. They finally did it. And he still comes back. So is there a way that you think they could do it where it would satisfy you? He's been set on fire multiple times. What could they do?
Oh, man. We could put him in a wood chipper.
Yeah, yes.
Just stick a grenade up his ass, something. I don't know. I don't know if that you think something tells me it'll just be another beheading.
Yeah, or maybe like a shotgun blast to the head. Didn't you say you thought that?
Yeah, like
that's
it
how
blow his
Allison was
head
gonna kill him
apart.
or something, right?
Yeah, maybe blow his head into pieces, something like yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
There you go. Call Jason Blum right now. Tell him we got it. I hope it's done if they kill him off, I hope it's done in a sophisticated way. And what I mean by that is I hope it's not just some jump scare type thing that, we've seen 1,000 times. Kill him off. They've got to make sure that it's definitive ending for his character, and also kind of tie in the fact that evil's still out there, which maybe they got planned with Corey. Maybe they kill Michael. They kind of defeat Corey. They throw him in they defeat him but don't kill him. Throw him in some type of mental hospital or something. And then they kill Michael, and then you see Corey, I don't know, staring at some girl combing her hair like Judith. I don't know. I don't know. Something to prove that evil's still out there. So that's probably how I would do it.
Yeah. I talked about 2 endings to this movie.
Okay.
The ending of the Laurie, Michael Myers saga, and then the ending that possibly sets up the future of the franchise, which would entail evil passing on to, say, another kid, or even Corey, like you said. Maybe he survives and goes to, I don't know, people asked last week about Glass Hill, which is what was that? Someone asked about that doctor, about him being
Dr.
evil.
Mathis.
Dr. Mathis, who they announced who the actor that's playing him.
So hold on a second. What is this Glass Hill? Because I've heard it. I've seen it in my comments a lot. I don't know much about it. Is it kind of just like a insane asylum, like Batman,
I don't know if it sounds like an insane asylum, like some kind of mental health. I don't know if it's for kids, if it's all ages, or it's just kind of a Smith's Grove type of place. But we don't know if it's even been cut out. It could have been, it could have been something they cut out of the movie. But this Dr. Mathis in Glass Hill is going to play some kind of role in this movie, and I think it'll be whatever role it plays. It'll be passing on of evil to something else.
Yeah.
Some kid or whatever, or maybe that's where Corey ends up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, it's interesting that they would choose another hospital besides Smith's Grove, but yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I've heard people comment was it Glass Hill? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Glass. I think so. Glass.
Yeah,
it's something like that.
I've heard it a bunch of times too, and I don't really understand too much what they're talking about. I guess I should pay attention more. But yeah, so here's the ultimate question, Bud. The question that everyone wants to know about Halloween Ends and the reshoots. Did they introduce monkeypox into this movie?
No. I think I don't know. Did the monkeypox come?
No,
I don't even know.
I think it's later.
Started.
I think it's coming now. I think it's coming now.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Okay, we'll see. Yeah. Actually, that's funny. It's funny though, thinking about that, because you remember we as in the general people, were so concerned for months about COVID being relevant in the movie.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah. And we haven't really heard. I haven't really thought about that. We haven't heard much about it. Were we just talking about that because there wasn't any material to talk about? Obviously, the trailer happened and Laurie wasn't wearing a mask.
So if they're smart, no COVID, no political. Let's just do a Halloween movie. If we're gonna do something different with the copycat killer and Myers being gone, let's do that. We don't need a fucking political.
Oh yeah, agreed.
That's why we should probably talk about Nope a little bit, because damn, no political message in Nope.
I haven't seen it
It
yet.
was a great movie.
I haven't seen it. I know I gotta check it out this weekend.
Yeah, you definitely
just
do.
so I can
Everybody
talk
should go
about
see
it.
Nope.
But yeah, no, I agree. I don't want any political messages in this movie. If they want to do some type of message or have some type of meaning to something, use Corey for that. Use the message to be about evil and things like that, because that is the core of the Halloween franchise. Evil is out there. Evil never dies. How many times did Loomis say evil throughout the franchise? If they want to do something like that,
I hope they don't have
sense.
some kind of dopey catchphrase like "Evil dies tonight."
Yes, that's right.
God, please don't do that.
I wonder what's going to be. They're going to do something like that. Might not be that blatant. That almost seems like a fever dream, like that they kept saying it like that.
It's so weird. When you go back and watch it a year later, it's just what the fuck. It was so cringy.
It definitely was.
Carter Chambly. Carter Chambly is asking. Well, he's saying. He says he thinks Corey's a red herring. A red herring, like I've seen that. People have mentioned that even on my channel in the comments. What do you mean by a red herring? For what? Like what would he be a red herring for? But go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of what the red herring could be too. Elaborate, my friend Carter. Elaborate. You've piqued our interest here. Shane says Halloween 13, the illness of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That would be just like the curse of Michael Myers.
Yes. Let's see.
Yeah, Allie brings up a good point.
What's that?
And I'm just gonna kind of play off of her comment here. now that we've seen Laurie and she's in a better place, and hopefully, like that's how I felt coming out of the trailer. Like I'm more excited about Laurie. Who do you go for now? Do you go for Laurie or Michael?
I'm happy that
You
Laurie's in a
root for
better
Laurie, you're
place.
rooting for Michael now.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the question. So there's a lot going on with Laurie. Number one, she now knows and has lived with for 4 years that Michael
Yeah.
was never. It was never about her, right?
Yeah.
So even though she thought it was, and that's got to be mentally draining to say the least, that you spent your whole life obsessed with that. But she fixed herself up. She seems to have gotten her life together, or at least appears
Yeah.
to, probably for Allison. But in order to defeat Michael, does she need to get down and dirty again and become the Laurie of 2018? And is she willing to do that again? That's the question. Can Laurie of 2022, who, has grown and let go of the past, can she defeat Michael, or does she need to turn back into Linda Hamilton again to defeat Michael? I don't know. That's the question.
Yeah, I think if they are making Laurie, kind of making her more like the Laurie in the original, like
Which is good.
got her life together. I think that's a smart move.
That's good, because you
That's
watch
what they
you watch
do.
these movies, this new trilogy, and you forget that Laurie was a meek little bookworm who was getting
Yeah.
bossed around by Annie, and forgot her chemistry book, and had her Raggedy Ann doll, and all that. I mean, I know she was 17, and that night changed her forever. But you forget that she was a smart girl. She defeated. I mean, yes, she was running away and all that. And Loomis is technically the one that defeated Myers, but she survived that night, which is a big deal. But she survived it not by being the Terminator. She survived it by being smart and obviously she had some lucky breaks, but it wasn't just about brute force for her. So I'm with you. I'm intrigued by Laurie seeming more like the Laurie from '78 again. I think that's good for the franchise. I know our buddy Gary, who just joined the chat, would be happy to not see Laurie hunting Michael. Gary brings up a good point. Gary and my views sometimes clash. But I will give the man credit. He brings up a good point about this new trilogy. He says this new trilogy, and I'm paraphrasing here, so Gary, if you're continuing to watch, I'm paraphrasing you, but his point is that this new trilogy is Laurie hunting Michael, and he'd rather see Michael, stalking and hunting Laurie, and I think he's right, don't you, bud?
I don't think Halloween Ends. Yeah, it was up to a point, and I think in this movie they're just, in separate places. Like Michael is wherever he's at, and Laurie is moving on with her life. So that's a nice little dynamic where they're just kind of out of each other's minds. Well, Laurie's writing a book, but she's reflecting on what has happened, and then something's gonna happen where they're gonna just come right back to each other. So
Right. So that's the question
Yeah.
then. What's going to happen? Obviously, in 2018, Sartain happened. And now, from all intents and purposes, from what it looks like in the trailer, and it could be a misdirect, but it looks like she is, either living with Allison or living back in the city. She's not out in the Hicks again. So somehow, her and Michael need to find each other. And
okay, so now we can circle back to Carter Chambly.
okay, yeah. Go ahead.
His red herring thing was that it's somebody else doing some killing. I think
Somebody
that
else
makes
says
sense.
Corey, or somebody else that's framing Corey.
Could be, yeah, it could be that. It could be Corey. It could be somebody. Obviously, from the trailer, there's somebody in a Myers mask.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's killing, but if like something like that is happening, and then Michael, I don't know how he comes back, but yeah, that could be.
Yeah. Here's a good question by Iron Matrix. or Matrix, sorry, says no human can survive what Michael has endured. Do you want an explanation why?
That's a good question. Yeah, kind of. That would be kind of nice because I mean, he got how many times did he get shot point blank range at the end of Halloween Kills?
A bunch.
Like you
and
could see
said,
the
point
bullet
blank.
coming out of his. Well, you know, close range.
Yeah, you're right.
But you could see the bullets like coming out of his back. Like you could see the shots coming out of his back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to know how the fuck he survived that. That would be nice.
I wouldn't. I don't want to know.
But that might explain why he's been gone for 4 years. Maybe
True.
maybe that all that took such a toll on him that he's just, you know.
Yeah, I
his
hear you.
Stamina. It's been
I hear you. I just think it's kind of. I like the not knowing, but you can only not know for so long. You know, in the original, you know, not knowing, thinking he's, you know, what the hell's going on here. You know, he's just some kid that killed his sister, and you know, and then you combine that with Loomis's speeches, and then him being, you know, kind of dissipating, you know, out of Laurie's vision when she's seeing him by the laundry. You're wondering, okay, this guy is supernatural, but is he? You know, you got those questions. So it worked not knowing what the hell's going on there. But now after 12 movies, I don't even know.
This will be number 13.
13,
yeah.
okay. So after this many movies, and like you said, seeing him getting shot at point blank range, them hinting with the window, them hinting all kinds of different things. And I know the timeline's not the same, guys. I know that, but I'm just talking about as a viewer. I feel like yes, I don't want to know, but I feel like they have to tell us something. There has to be something there. They don't have to give us the full explanation, but there's got to be something. How about this? They start to tell it, and they give us a little tease of it, and then we don't hear the rest, but the characters in the movie do, and that's how they defeat him. I don't know. They can't tell us everything for me, because that's kind of what makes Michael different. The mystique of Myers.
Yeah.
But it's also 2022 right now, and viewers aren't like that anymore, you know. So I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm mixed. That was a long way of saying yes and no.
Yeah. Someone mentioned about the missing girls.
Yeah.
That's another
Like there's that billboard, right?
There's a few different things going on here. So yeah, there's a missing women that have gone missing over the years, and maybe there's a copycat killer. Somebody mentioned this, Shane Emerson. Like there are women going missing. Maybe we're made to believe it's Corey. Maybe it turns out maybe that's the red herring.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the red. Maybe Corey is the red herring, and there's someone else masquerading as the shape. I don't know. It could be.
Yeah.
Like, are we all throwing in all our money in that Corey's somehow evil? Maybe we're missing the point on that.
Maybe. Yeah. With Corey, you know, we talk about like, is it a misdirect? But I feel like in this case, when there's smoke, there's fire. You know, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
But you're right. Maybe he is evil incarnate, just like Myers was and is. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. But yeah, Corey could be evil, or he could be
the red herring.
The red herring. Yep. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of a movie where somebody is blamed for all the. I don't know. There's got to be something out there, you know, where someone else is blamed for all the killings, and someone else. There's going to be tons of them, but maybe it's something like that.
This thing doesn't sound so self-contained, like David Gordon Green said.
That's a great fucking point. That is a great fucking point, man. Like I thought we was gonna be, Michael slowly stalking a few people.
Yeah, that's what I
um,
thought too.
and and then somehow Laurie and Allison and them get involved in the story, and we get a lot of character exposition. But now we got Corey. Now we got other weird shit, and it's just like, oh, okay. But yeah,
Iron Matrix was a nice one there.
what, the last one?
Yeah, the last one, and then Carter Shambly says they go missing on October 30th. I think one of them goes. It's on the billboard. It says one of them went missing October 30th in
2021
2020.
no? Or 2020. Okay.
Was it? Was it? It's either 2020 or
Yeah,
2021.
it's a year earlier. So I would assume though that let's say there are girls going missing, and they're going missing around Halloween time. I would assume that would be, Hawkins and Laurie, assuming that Myers is alive. So
Well, I'm pretty sure Hawkins at one point had a side quest that involved the missing girl or girls.
in this movie,
In this movie, yes, I think that's what Hawkins's role was going to be, and it sounds like that may have changed. So it could be that the billboard may not be part of the movie anymore. We'll have to see. But yeah, so many moving parts,
yeah, there is. And that was that chick had a last name similar, or wasn't it a callback to H1?
Baxter.
Baxter, right?
Megan
right.
Baxter, yeah.
Yeah, Dick Baxter, right? Is that the guy from was that Annie mentioned or Laurie mentioned or something?
Yes,
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah. Interesting. Shane Emerson
Yeah,
says
Gary
Stephen
says-
King's The Night The is a great murder mystery. I never heard of that. The Night Flyer. I'll have to check that out. What does Gary say?
Writing it down. He said that the Baxter girl went missing October 30th, 2021.
Okay.
So yeah, that's some weird shit happening around Halloween in Haddonfield.
Yep. Very weird.
So-
All right. So Allie says, I feel that being with Allison, he won't be evil and that he really is being framed. Okay, so she's bringing up the rumor that he is Allison's boyfriend. I believe I've heard
I
that
don't
a few
think
times.
that's true.
You don't think that's
I
true?
do not think
You think
that's
he might
true.
be in a friends group or something like that? Or
Something like that, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he could be being framed, but he's also wearing the mask, if that's him, right?
Someone's wearing that mask.
Yeah, unless it's a dream. It could be a dream. It could be Laurie, on a couch with a therapist. Therapist asking her something like, "Picture yourself killing Myers," and that's what you picture. I wouldn't put that past him, and then to put it in the trailer. But there's just been so much, and not to mention the synopsis.
Ooh, Shane Emerson with a good point.
Go ahead.
That's very good.
What do you say?
Corey could potentially be similar to Tommy Doyle in Halloween 6. And he's obsessed with Myers. I don't think so. I think he's just like, we know something happened with the kid that he's babysitting, and
That would be cool though. Like, let's say he's obsessed with Myers, just like Tommy. He's weird, just like Tommy was in that movie. Before people realized Paul Rudd was funny and a celebrity. But let's say he's just kind of weird like that around people and shit like that. And then he's obsessed with Myers, but instead of wanting to destroy Myers, he's obsessed with him in a Sartain level, but he kind of wants to be Myers. Could be something like that.
well, if a kid died under his watch as a babysitter, I would say he's probably a pariah.
Do dudes babysit?
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what it says in the synopsis that he's a babysitter. Yeah.
Huh. Okay, that's probably a
So
sexist,
something
that's probably a
happens with
sexist
the kid.
comment. I apologize, but yeah. Okay.
Something happens with a young child that he's babysitting, and maybe there's some he did it. People think he killed the kid.
Here we go.
Like, we don't know how the kid dies, but something
Yeah.
like that.
Low Volt Dude says the Copycat will be doing what he does for his YouTube content. Low Volt Dude,
That's a great fucking plot twist.
It is. That'd be like a Scream movie. So, Bud, the Halloweenverse, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
not me.
Yeah,
My name is Michael, so it might work.
that is true.
My real name's Michael.
That is
so.
true. I get I get told I look like a serial killer all the time, but I swear, guys, I'm not a killer. Which is what a killer would say.
You look like you look like a drywall killer.
All right, calm down, man. I've only had a beer and a half tonight, not 12, so
Okay.
I'm relaxed this time. Here we go. Shocking Poetry says, perhaps Corey finds Myers' mask and puts it on, maybe drawn to it. In Halloween 2018, they made it seem Myers' mask had his own identity to it. So yeah, that kind of brings up what you said about the mask earlier. That could be interesting. You know, let's say Myers passes out, or you know, he's destroyed after the night of 2018, and he either loses his mask or it comes off while he's recovering, and Corey is walking by and he's kind of drawn to the mask, and then I could see that. I could legitimately see that happening. Something like that. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Or make Michael's too, like, from all of the bullshit he went through and on Halloween 2018, all the gunshots, all the you know, took a beating, was in a fire. Maybe he's just so weak that this kid's able to take his mask and maybe the kid just starts fucking wearing the mask and just kind of gets himself into trouble.
Yeah,
Something
and we
like
know
that.
he's a kid, right?
then-
Like he's got to be like a 17-year-old kid or something like that. I'm assuming.
Well, if he's a babysitter, so I'm just going out on a limb. That's what I'm doing.
I'm gonna stop talking about male babysitters right now because I'm gonna get myself into trouble.
Well, you know, you see him in the trailer where he's in the tunnel and he gets grabbed. Look how young he looks there. He looks pretty damn young.
That's true. He does, and we know who the actor is. Yep. So and the actor is an actor that's like in the Hardy Boys series. So he'll definitely play a kid.
So yeah, Video Shop. Good.
Yep. I was
good
just gonna say that.
yeah.
That is a good point.
You know, that's
so
a great point.
Yeah, he says it's all about the mask. Mask is Christine. So so the
But
mask is
he
the
puts on
car,
the
right?
mask and he gets, perfect.
Yeah. Maybe he fixes up. Maybe he starts fixing up the mask, just like Arnie Cunningham fixed up the car. And
Oh
then
my
he's
God.
slowly changing. Even if he's not wearing the mask, he's slowly changing, and he snaps, but doesn't realize he snaps when he's babysitting, kills that kid. And then he's like, oh shit, what did I do? But he's slowly being corrupted by the evil of the mask. That's actually entirely possible.
That we're cracking the nut of this movie. I think.
Yes.
We're
Keep the
finally
questions coming. We're
cracking that.
slowly getting to the bottom of this plot here. Interesting. Diamond Rattler, hey, what's up, Diamond? Says, I hope sometime in the future Gordon Green lets the original Ends idea public before they time jumped 4 years. Me fucking
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah.
I'm fascinated by not only what they changed, but why they decided to change it. You know, I mean, don't remember talking about this, like when that article came out, and it's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, and they talked about how they changed everything. I think that if the Taking Shape guys that wrote the books,
Yeah.
I don't know if Taking Shape 1 and 2, it's just like a complete history of the Halloween franchise and all the scripts and all the BS that went on behind the scenes. I think they could write a whole book about this trilogy. I really do.
Oh yeah, I care.
And I hope they do, because I would love to know the original story that they were going to do and why they changed it. So, because I think it's pretty clear that all three movies were going to take place on the same night. So.
Yep, agreed. Russ Shipley, hey Russ, says, do you think Corey will be the future Michael Myers, or do you think evil will live on through others in the town of Haddonfield? I don't think he'll be the future Michael Myers. I get what you're saying with that. You know, I think even if he was killing a bunch of people, you'd almost have to compare him to like Tommy Jarvis in the Friday franchise at the beginning of his run with Corey Feldman and stuff, where like they might want you to think he is, but Michael Myers is the brand of this franchise. when it gets rebooted, if
Yeah,
they make another
yeah.
sequel, Michael is the brand. He's the one. I know Jamie Lee Curtis puts butts in the seat. I get that, but Michael is the brand. People will come for Michael Myers, just like people watch a Friday or a Nightmare on Elm Street movie for Freddy Krueger. You know, so I don't think Corey will be the future, but it could. Think about he could be the Roy Burns of the movie from Friday 5. Who knows?
I think that's more likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna go see if Halloween moves studios, which it probably will, and goes to Paramount. You're gonna go see the next Corey Cunningham movie? No.
Yeah.
You're gonna go see the next Michael Myers movie.
And
for sure.
Paramount or whoever forks over
Yeah.
millions and millions and millions of dollars is doing it because they want Michael Myers, and they're going to have a vision for how they're going to want to use Michael Myers, whether it's a reboot, whether it's a reimagining, whether it's a whatever the fuck you want to call it these days. They're going to have a plan, and that's why they are going to spend money for the IP. So yeah, I do get what you're saying,
Yes.
though, and that'd be an interesting point.
Yeah.
Joe 0 the 14th says too many people think Laurie is more important than Michael now. It's a big problem. Yeah, I believe it or not, Joe. Believe it or not. Remember, I said this, buddy. I agree with
it's
you.
it's always going to be that way if Jamie Lee Curtis is involved. That's just
yeah, and Jamie Lee, like I've said on my channel many times, I'm kind of strode it out at this point. I'm done with Laurie Strode, and I'm just done with that storyline because we've gotten it so much. Even though I do admit it's important in Halloween Ends because it really is. Jamie Lee Curtis is a brand up in and upon herself, where she's became a star, but she was never really an A-list star that ran her own movies like a I don't like she was always teamed up with someone, like whether it was Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies, whether it was Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd and what's that movie? Trading Spaces. She was always teamed up with her partners. But she's also someone that graduated from being just a horror actress and came back. So that is pretty cool.
For a long time, she ran away from Halloween.
Yeah.
She's like,
that was the thing back in the day. You started out in a horror movie, whether it's Kevin Bacon, Jamie Lee Curtis, Johnny Depp, whoever. You started out in a horror movie. That's how you kind of got one of your big breaks, and then you graduated to quote unquote real movies. But she came back.
I saw a YouTube video going around of an interview she did in, I think it was 1985. That'll give you her real thoughts on the Halloween franchise.
Yeah, I think I know. I know what you're saying.
I imagine the money talks now, but
for sure it does. And you get a little older, you kind of remember where you came from. It's like our age now. You start to remember. I remember that lesson my dad taught me. You get a little older, you get a little wiser, you start appreciating things more, and you want to come back for $10 million or whatever it is. All of that is a factor. But you're right. Your money fucking talks.
And Allie, with the exclamation point on this whole conversation, you can have Halloween without Laurie. You can't have it without Michael Myers.
It's true.
That on accurate.
Halloween 3, but yeah, as far as what we know of Halloween right now, yeah, 100% correct.
Yeah.
What do you think about this question from Iron Matrix? And we're gonna go another 15 or 20 minutes, guys. From Iron Matrix says, could Michael be more powerful on the actual day of Halloween, surviving the mob attack? So that would get into even more supernatural shit. I don't like to think that at all, but it's possible, that you're almost talking about Halloween 6 shit where the constellation appears. When it appears, he appears, and we've been down that road so much, but they're setting something up.
Can I answer that question?
Yes.
Michael Audrey Myers, I love my dick inside her. I love it. So
I love your what?
answers that. He asked me if I've ever had dick and cider.
Oh,
Said I love my dick and cider. Yeah,
never heard of
Big-
it. And I'm a cider guy. I never heard of that.
yeah. Good stuff.
Here we go. Shocking Poetry says, "What if it turns out that the old Myers house is haunted with the Myers curse?" I think I get what you're saying, but I think it just treads too much. And I know there's so much supernatural, but we're talking about now curses and ghosts, and maybe not ghosts, but clearly though there's something going on with that window, like we've been saying. So maybe you can call that the Myers curse. You can call it whatever you want, but however you want to spin it. But maybe it is. Who knows? You know.
That's a good question. The window thing, does that have to be answered with the Myers house in existence, or
You mean like if they
Because-
take the glass?
like I don't know. I mean, like we're assuming that the Myers house is coming down. Like
Yeah.
town, like usually when something horrific happens like that, the house gets demolished, and you know.
You know, before the trailer came out, I was starting my own. I don't want to call it treatment for Halloween Ends.
Oh,
How I would write Halloween Ends, and my beginning of the movie was you see, or maybe not the beginning, but after a kill at the beginning of the movie, I was going to have you see Laurie and you see Hawkins in the kitchen, and they're arguing over, you know, she's saying it needs to die, and Hawkins is like, just relax. We've been talking about this for years, and you think she's talking about Myers, but she's actually talking about the Myers house, and it's getting demolished that day. But yeah, I think Laurie would see to it, especially with what happened to Karen now too.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah, I think she would make it her. We know how stubborn she can be. I think she
So
would make
that-
it her life mission to have it torn down, and that's kind of her closure, right?
Yeah, that might complicate explaining the window thing. It might.
It would. I think it 100% would, because it's not just the location of the Myers house. It was clear. There was clearly 4 or 5 times where, you know, standing in the window, you know, standing or staring at the window. So yeah,
Yeah, low volt dude brings up the radio tower too.
we almost
know
made it.
how to make. Oh yeah, I don't know how to make heads or tails of the radio tower thing. Like my gut tells me that it's not going to be as big a deal as what we think.
You know what would have been funny is they released a teaser trailer, and it's a slow pan into the radio, to just a radio tower, and
Yes.
then it just says Halloween Ends. That would have been awesome. Could you imagine like all us YouTubers being ready? All right, it's trailer time, and it's just that. Oh my God! People
we
would
would
lose their minds.
we would have done we would have done 30 videos on the significance of the radio tower.
Yes. Oh man, that'd be great.
Yeah, Carter's right. They have to. I think they have to pay that window thing off.
Yeah, I agree. There's too much. There's too much going on there. All right, Drake Play. Hey, says, hey Nick, just joined. Do you think if Corey is the copycat, do you think him and Michael will be killing at the same time and they'll run into each other? Yes.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I made a jokey video the other day where I said Michael could be the hero because he'll come in and save Laurie from Corey, in a manner of speaking. But as much as I was kind of having some fun with that video, I do think that something similar to that could happen. It might not be him with Laurie, but you know, it could be, you know, Allison or something running from Corey in the mask, and all of a sudden, Allison runs into the real Michael, and then Corey comes and Michael kills Corey, something like that. I think that's possible. What do you think?
Yeah, there's an unconfirmed rumor that Darcy the mail girl is in the movie and has something to do with the radio tower place.
And she kept her mouth shut on that? That's interesting.
Well, she has to.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But if
Interesting.
they're doing the screenings, then
That's true.
I'm sorry. What you asked a question? I'm sorry. Can you?
Oh, your thoughts on if Corey and Michael will be killing at the same time? Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility because Corey's doing his thing, and then Michael's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I need to go do something." So yeah, I think it's a good possibility. Sure.
Yeah, yeah, and I assume maybe not his first kill with the babysitting, but I assume Corey, if Corey's whatever you call him a copycat, call him maybe he's pretending to be Michael, maybe he's got some bloodlust and he's using Michael's MO to try to get away with it. That's a possibility. But if he's doing that, he would obviously be killing on Halloween night, which is when Michael would also be killing. So I think there's a good possibility.
Video shop Malik Akkad is all about the money. Well, yeah, he has a like you can hardly fault Malik Akkad. If studios are going to pay money to him to make Halloween movies, he's just a smart businessman. And as we've talked about, Hollywood, this is their business. It's established intellectual properties, and yeah, someone will get their hands on it.
Right, and think about it this way. So his dad, Mustafa, had nothing to do with the creative decisions about Michael Myers. He didn't create the character. He didn't direct the first movie, but he put up his own money as for an independent film. There are thousands of people that do that every year. A couple of them get lucky, or have the foresight to realize this could be a hit based on whatever. So that's a risk. So his dad took that risk. It's like an investment. He made that investment, and there's a risk with that investment. It could have been a dud, and he lost it all. His dad, the Akkads should get rewarded for that investment. Now, I don't agree with everything the Akkads say. I don't agree with every decision that they've made, but if I was in his shoes too, would I also say don't kill Michael Myers because I want my grandkids and their grandkids to be set for life? You're probably goddamn right, you know. Especially because you know movies are eventually Halloween. We keep making sequels. I know it's Halloween Ends, but we've talked about it. There's going to be more movies, but you keep making more movies. Eventually, you're going to get to a few duds, and the franchise is going to die on its own anyway, for a while. So
I have a good question.
Yeah.
So Mustafa Akkad, you know, he had his run.
Yep.
The movies he produced, and Malik Akkad, he's put together his own resume. Of the two, who's made the best, had the best run?
Well, I think you got to take 78 out.
You got to take 78 and 81 out because John Carpenter.
Yeah. Agreed. Yep, that's fair.
So
That's
Mustafa took the rights after that. So you take Halloween 4 through
3. Oh no, Carpenter was still involved too much in 3.
I can't remember when
He died in early 2000s. I believe. It
So
was like
he
2004.
did.
So I think it might have been Resurrection. Might have been his last one. I think it was like that. I think the terrorist bombing that killed him was like 2004 or something like that.
So you take 4 through Resurrection, and then you take Rob Zombies through what we have now. Who's had the better run?
Probably based. It might be Malik.
And you have to look at, you know, we can look at it from box office. Malik was going to win the box office.
Yeah, just because inflation
Easily.
and all that shit. But think about it, like, what if you grade, and we don't have to do it right now, but what if you graded each individual movie on whatever, a 1 to 10 scale, and then averaged it out because they're not going to have the same amount of movies? Who do you, like, we can do this exercise for real sometime, but off the top of your head.
We may have to do this on a future video.
Yeah. Like, you know, like you could say like, okay, Halloween 4 is a 8.5 or 8, and then Halloween 5 is a 2, and then so that averages out to a 5. You know, I bet you if we did it, I bet you Malik. I mean, it's all relative.
We agree. Halloween 4 is Mustafa's best.
Agreed.
Best 100%. Effort from his. So Malik, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think 2018 is better than Kills?
I think it's a better movie. Kills is probably. I'd probably rather watch Kills minus the hospital scenes, but I think 2018 is probably a better movie.
I think Malik has a problem with those Rob Zombie films, but
certainly the second one.
It might be worth discussing.
It might be,
Chat
and
could
Ends
answer
could tip
that.
the scale. Ends could answer all of that.
Do you guys want to watch us hash this out and figure out who's the best?
Yeah, that's actually a good idea
Yeah.
for a future video. We both have our grades, and then we argue a little bit. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Let's see what else we
All right.
got going in the chat here, guys. We're gonna go another 10 minutes or so. Want to thank you guys all for your participation. Remember,
I
Bud's
saw-
channel, the Halloweenverse, just got to 500 subs, so make sure you go sub to them. Sorry, Bud, go ahead.
Somebody mentioned, what did they say here? Someone said that they're ready to move on from Michael Myers. Something like that. Who was it? It might have been. I missed it.
You sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, someone said something about that the Michael Myers thing's been done to death and it's time to move on.
I mean, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. I mean, I'd be fine after Halloween ends. I'd be fine going 20 years until the next Halloween.
I don't know.
movie.
Michael Myers is just something that's hard to cut away from this franchise, from the Halloween name. I don't know.
It is. It 100% is. Like, there's gonna be sequels till after we're dead. Michael and
God, Joe said if you're ready to move on from Michael, you're ready to move on from Halloween. He's the franchise.
I am ready to move on from. I'm ready to.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm ready. I mean, yes, they announced another Halloween movie. Will I be making videos? Will I be excited? Will I be talking to you guys? Yes, but at some point,
you think you're ready,
at
but
some
you're
point,
not
it needs to die. You think I'm ready? What?
It needs to die. I don't think you're ready.
I am because I can
We're-
just go watch.
we're
I can just go watch a good Halloween movie, man.
Like, we're coming up on the 50th anniversary
I
of
know.
the original Halloween. About what, another 6 years, 5.5 years.
Yeah, 2028. Yeah.
So I don't know. It would be nice to maybe get some Jason movies or Freddy movies.
That's the thing. Maybe I'll feel differently
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
get some new, we get some new Freddy and Jason movies and shit like that. It's hard because nowadays I don't see us getting another like villain in one of these, especially slashers, in one of these movies that like will catch on the way these guys do. Now I mean, nostalgia is such a big factor. Movies are just different
established
nowadays.
intellectual properties are the gold. They're the natural resource of Hollywood.
Oh
So-
yeah.
And you saw how like it's driving people back to the theater, as you saw with Top Gun.
Oh yeah.
A lot of nostalgia is going to be coming out of the.
Yep.
It's coming.
And we were talking about the business aspect before. If
Yeah.
you are a studio executive, would you rather pay $50 million for an IP address that has probably a 80% chance of making its money back, or would you rather pay $20 million for some new property that you could lose all this money? I'd rather take the $50 million chance, on a proven IP.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be. Yeah.
Especially horror. And especially horror and like Halloween. Like look at YouTube. Like I haven't really been watching any videos lately, but I'll like just go on YouTube and just search Halloween Ends just to see if there's a bunch of videos coming up, and there's 10 popping up every day at least from what I see.
Yeah.
So you're always gonna have these people like us that are gonna go see everything.
Allie's is Friday still in court? Friday is done in court.
But no decision's
Victor
been made.
Miller,
Right?
Victor Miller, like they both kind of won. Like Victor Miller, he got the origin story with Pamela and
Oh,
Jason, Crystal Lake. But Sean Cunningham has a hockey mask, Jason, and everything after
And the
that.
title Friday the 13th, right?
I think Victor Miller has that.
Okay.
So these two idiots need to come together and sell their fucking shared rights to somebody. Like, it's time, dude. they're both leaving money on the table.
Oh God,
And
yeah.
would
By
not-
the time they make one, this nostalgia phase
Yeah.
is gonna be nearing the end if they're lucky, and they will have missed the boat. You know, I think it'll be just like 2009, where it'll be a decent movie, but then that'll be it because
Something tells me with the Bloomhouse and Universal moving on from Halloween, most likely.
Yeah.
They're big, and I heard something about Freddy going to Universal, but what if Universal and Bloomhouse buy the rights from Victor Miller? What if they fucking swoop in there and they go the Friday the 13th? I know Jason Blum said he wants to make Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Like I just have a feeling, my gut tells me that something is going to shake loose with the Friday the 13th franchise soon.
Right.
I really do.
And Friday, as far as like making a movie, I know they're both in odd situations with the legal battle just ending, and then with Nightmare, the rights going back at least a couple of years ago. They went back to the Craven estate, so they're obviously both in interesting situations. But I feel like it'd be so much easier to make a Friday movie than a Nightmare movie. Simply because all you gotta do is find some stunt guy. I know it's more complicated than that, but find a stunt guy to put on a hockey mask, and you're good. Whereas as far as casting Freddy, will be a little bit more challenging.
If you're smart, you put this thing in 80s. Go back to where it all started. Start back, put it in the 80s. Make Jason look just like he did in Friday the 13th, 3 and 4.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is so easy. It's so easy.
It'd be great. And the thing was with Jason, you don't even have to explain. You don't even really have to explain like the timeline. You can just put it in there, and it could be anything. It could be a new Jason. It could be the same Jason, just between a couple. You don't have to explain some of that shit. You know, just go.
One thing you can't. Ali mentioned Texas Chainsaw, which is they just copied Halloween. Is what they did, like right down to the.
Are you talking about the most recent one?
Yeah, the most recent.
Yeah,
did you
Sally.
watch it?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah, like they did copied.
I enjoyed it actually.
They cannot. Friday the 13th cannot do this.
What
They can't have Jason be
bring back Ginny.
where,
Badass Ginny.
where they have like they can have Michael Myers and Leatherface where they're like older.
Yeah, I know.
They can't have an old ass Jason come back and fucking fight. I don't know.
And if you're finally able to get your franchise back, back on its feet, and finally able to make a movie, you don't just want to set it up for 1 or 2 movies. You need to set it up for the long haul here. That's why like people say, oh, get Robert Englund back for one more movie. I wouldn't do that. Number one, I don't think Robert wants to. Number two, I saw him on the Goldbergs in the Freddy makeup, and I know it's different. It's a TV show, smaller budget, but he didn't look good. And number three, like, you're gonna go through all that just for one movie. I would set it up. All you gotta do is make Freddy darker again, and don't fuck up with the CGI. Find the right actor. Find a young actor. Doesn't have to be a no name, but doesn't have to be a big name, and just go with it. Like, people are gonna complain no matter what. So
you know Jackie Earle Haley shit, right?
I didn't mind him. I didn't mind him.
What actor that's big right now could make a good? Like, I always thought Nicolas Cage might be a good.
Yeah, he's
Freddy.
old too, though. People tell me Kevin Bacon all the time, and like I'm just like he's like 7 years younger than Robert Englund.
Some youngish actor who could be Freddy.
So I don't know exactly his name or anything, but I did a stream like I'm on this like I don't know 3 years ago was my first streams, and someone said in the chat, and it's always stuck with me. They said the guy. Do you know you watch some Marvel movies, right, Bud?
Yes.
They were saying the guy that plays Vision, because he's used to being in the makeup, he's younger, he's used to like having the makeup on him. Like, I don't know the guy's name or anything like that, but like maybe something like that. Maybe not that guy, but something like that. I don't know.
What about Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
He'd be good. They'd probably do something stupid
Black-
and have like Jensen Ackles or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah. Hey,
So-
can I do something
Yeah.
for the blackest eyes?
Yeah.
Did it come through?
No.
Oh fuck. Never
It's
mind.
gotta be something because it's
Can't do it.
not your OBS.
I
Who is the blackest eyes?
I don't know. But he asked, "Who is your daddy and what does he do?"
So one of your subs.
That's one of my Arnold's. I guess.
Got
Like
it.
I played that Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Let's see. Elliot Page, possibly. Adrian Brody. I'm thinking it needs to be somebody. What about? I got it. What about that guy that played Bane in Batman?
Tom Hardy. He's got too thick of an accent,
Yeah.
man.
Well, he could do something with the voice.
He's too buff too. That's the thing. He'd look like Super Freddy in like Nightmare 5 when he's in the comic or whatever. He's way too buff.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone like that, yeah. Oh, here we go. Carter Chambly says Gary Oldman would make a great Loomis. He would actually. Gary Oldman's great at everything.
Yeah, he would have.
Bradford English, yeah, that's actually not bad.
Cole Sprouse, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Mads Mikkelsen. Interesting. All right, guys, we're going to start wrapping up here. Number one, I want to thank everyone for being so active in the chat. Appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah, that was awesome.
If you're watching after the fact, a couple of things. Number one, we are going to try to do streams like this at least every other week. If we can do it more, we will. As far as where it, some weeks it'll be here on my channel, some weeks it'll be with Bud over on the Halloweenverse. So make sure you go sub to the Halloweenverse. Like I said earlier, they just hit 500 subs, huge accomplishment. So make sure you, if you're not subbed to them, you can get subbed to them before they hit 600 here in the next couple weeks. So yeah, Bud, you got any closing thoughts on anything interesting that we talked about tonight, or anything you got going on in the future here on your channel?
Yeah, we'll announce the next trivias. There'll be 2 of them in August. We haven't locked down, and they'll be on Sundays. So once we get it locked in, we'll get it out there. We'll just be looking for that. But I think we need another fucking trailer, man. That's what I think for Halloween Ends.
I'm with you on that.
I think we'll probably hopefully get one in August. I have a hard time believing they'd hold off till September. So.
Yeah, I don't think so. They want to keep this buzz train rolling, you know.
Yeah, that they probably need to put something bigger and flood the zone.
Yeah, and have some crazy scene that cuts to black where we don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. So all right, well. That is it, everyone. Appreciate you guys watching, and like I said, make sure you guys sub to Bud in the Halloweenverse. And if you're not subbed to me, what the fuck are you guys doing? Just kidding.
Yeah, everybody hit the like button on the
kidding.
video while you're in here.
Well, yeah, appreciate you guys as always. We will see you next time.